What's going on, everybody? ALPAT day 36, and yes, I know I've been keeping you in suspense for a few days here. Obviously, I knew what we did, and yes, we did go north of the Arctic Circle, and just barely so, because we were getting into a little bit of sea ice. So we went straight north of the Arctic Circle, stayed north for about 15 minutes, and turned back south. But again, we did go north of the Arctic Circle. We will get to have a good time at some point in time during this deployment, and we will initiate some new people into the realm of the Blue Nose. That is, as I said, that is something that I have already done. I did that on the last Alaska patrol. I didn't really know. I had never thought about Blue Nose being a thing. I had also never thought about Golden Dragon being a thing. Golden Dragon is what we are also trying to do if we can cross the international date line or 180 degrees of longitude. I always think crossing the international date line is kind of cheating. I do think you should have to cross 180. I know for most people that's not really a thing. The only place it would make a difference is if you're south, like by the Line Islands. That's L-I-N-E, Line Islands. Or if you're up here in Alaska, far north in the Bering. Most places the international date line does hold pretty strong to 180 degrees. But I think 180 is, to me, like the real Golden Dragon mark. The only one that I really wanted was shellback. I always wanted to be a shellback, and I had never been on a unit that deployed south of the equator. So my first deployment, we went to the Eastern Pacific, and I was quite excited that I got to go through the ceremony to be a shellback, and that was really cool. Obviously now I got Golden Dragon, and later got Blue Nose. I feel like that's pretty much the only things really that there are. There's a few other small ones. There's the Order of the Ditch if you go through the Panama Canal, and I just kicked a fuel can again, as I did a couple episodes ago. There's that, and there's the Order of the Spanish Main, which is the Caribbean, which I did get on my last ship. But the only one really that's left that I would consider a significant achievement that I would like to get is the Order of the Sparrow, and that's for sailing on all the 7 major bodies of water on Earth. And currently I am at 6. I've been on the Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. Did I say that? Did I get all 6? The only one that I'm missing, sort of by the old definition, is, I did not say the Indian Ocean. I have sailed on the Indian Ocean. The one I'm missing is the Mediterranean, and I don't know how likely that is if I remain a West Coast sailor, which I kind of do want to. I want to stay out here in California. And I guess that's worth noting, like, why do I want to stay in California? I don't know if you've listened to this, it should be relatively obvious that I am not a native Californian. I'm from North Carolina, and I want to stay out here on the West Coast, even though it is quite expensive to live out here, because I don't want to have to move my kids around anymore. I want them to have stability through middle school and through high school as much as we can, and so I think I want to stay out here in California, and that's something that my wife and I and the kids have all talked about. They definitely seem to like it out here, and I think we want to stay out here in California. So that would make it difficult from my point of view to ever get to the Mediterranean Sea without doing some sort of a temporary assignment on an East Coast ship, or even perhaps a Navy ship. But here we are, day 36 of the ALPAT. We did go north of the Arctic Circle today. So what we have upcoming is we are going to try to go south and transit across 180 degrees of longitude so we can get some golden dragons. And we're obviously going to be looking for fishing vessels down there to see what we have, because that is our primary mission out here. And I'm sure someone has by now commented, because I'm not posting these live, of course, so I haven't seen them. I'm sure someone has commented about us wasting fuel to go up above the Arctic Circle. And the truth of the matter is whether or not we went to the Arctic Circle or not, this ship is underway 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whether that is spent sailing north to go north of the Arctic Circle, however many, let's just say 2,000 miles, it may be less than that, I don't know. I would have to look at it on a map. If we spend 2,000 miles to go north of the Arctic Circle, then realistically that 2,000 miles would be equally spent turning circles in an operational box somewhere, because the ship has to remain underway. That is our whole purpose. So it's not as if we would be going to anchor somewhere and cutting the engines off if we didn't sail north of the Arctic. So it's a constant motion on the ship. We are constantly going places, whether or not that is actually a place. And that doesn't make sense how I said that just then. We are constantly moving. We are constantly underway, even if we don't have a specific point, destination. Like, you never stop moving on the ship. So with that note there, I appreciate everyone listening. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will get to them as best I can. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.